So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different to the videos that you've saw from me on my channel. Now, if you do enjoy the video at any portion, please don't forget to drop a like. And if you are new here, consider subscribing with the notification bell clicked so you get my Call of Duty videos as soon as they are published. So we're currently going through a process right now where if you mention SBMM anywhere like Reddit, anything to do with Activision, to do with the developers, you're either getting blanked, ignored, or you're getting totally deleted and removed. Comments are being removed. And that's a sad thing for me to hear as a massive fan of Call of Duty. And when I say a massive fan, this game means a lot more to me than it does to certain other people because of stuff it's done for me that people don't understand. I was always that guy in the queue at midnight for the midnight launch. That's the kind of Call of Duty fan I am. When I was 17 years old, I was stabbed nearly fatally, and it was a really rough time for me dealing with this because it turned me into a person that I didn't even recognize. And when I say I don't recognize, I went from being this shy, really kind person to being a very angry and aggressive person. And the reason I became very aggressive is because I was very scared to be on the receiving end of that kind of thing again. So quite often I would react before I even knew what the situation was. And I became very depressed because of this. And quite often I just wouldn't leave my house. I pretty much became a recluse. And that's where I found Call of Duty. I was introduced to Call of Duty by a load of my friends and colleagues at my station, as I've mentioned in a previous video. I didn't know much about Call of Duty until Modern Warfare 2. It was just crazy to me because the first game that I played online was Resistance of Man. And I couldn't believe it. Was like a dream to me because of all of the stuff as a kid I would love to have done. I always used to talk about, you know, GoldenEye was a game that I really loved on my Nintendo 64. And you had to have 4 pads plugged into the console to play with my cousins. You could see each other's screen, so sometimes it became a bit unfair. And we did these little things with boxes to try and split the screen up, and all these foolish little things as children, being inventive, which just was really fun to me. And we always used to say, imagine if you could be at home and I could be at home and you could play the game with me. And then we got the PlayStation 3 and online gaming. Obviously there was other consoles and PCs, but that was my introduction to online gaming. And then Call of Duty came about, which just changed things to me because I loved Resistance of Man and them shotgun lobbies. But Modern Warfare 2 just took that to a different level for me. And me being a recluse now, not really wanting to come out of my household, this game just really allowed me to have fun, but also to have fun with my friends and colleagues. And over the years, as I progressed through Call of Duty, I started to build massive friendships with people I didn't even know. And eventually they became lifelong friends, all to this day. One of my friends, he lives in Doncaster. I live in Birmingham. That's a 2-hour drive from where I am. I know that's minuscule to some of you guys who are in America, but in the UK, that's a pretty big drive to go and meet somebody else that you've never met before, who you've played a game with for several years, finally to go and meet them. So to hear now that these type of people that I'm speaking about currently, including myself, can't even write on a forum and mention skill-based matchmaking or put in SBMM without getting nullified, makes me think to myself, is that the amount of disrespect that Activision you have for us as a community? I understand what your end game is. I understand that you want to make profits. You need to impress shareholders, which is absolutely fine because that, at the end of the day, is the bottom line for any company. No company wants to go out there and not make any money. Money is always a priority as a business. But what I don't understand as an individual that has invested thousands of hours into your game is how you feel it's necessary to treat me as if I don't exist. I don't understand how you find it fair to look at us as a smaller demographic and think, oh, they don't make as much money, they don't really matter. Well, I understand this movement with the boycott the battle pass kind of thing, and it makes a lot of sense on the face of it. But the reality is, and I've just watched a video from Nero Cinema and he thinks along the same lines as me. It's quite an incredible video that he's done actually. The Battle Pass is everything that most Call of Duty players actually ever wanted. We hated the DLC map packs. It segregated the community. It split the PlayStation members and the Xbox members up, even though crossplay didn't actually exist in them times. It just was bad for gamers in general. If you didn't buy the maps, then you was put in a position where you'd be segregated, especially if you was mates. You was almost forced to buy the maps on the basis that you wanted to play together. Then it split the community. It was bad for the player base at the end of the day. And then we had the whole supply drop system that started in Advanced Warfare, and it was really bad. I'm still kind of pissed to this day that I never got the speakeasy or the RIP, and that was a pay-to-win system. So now we are currently thinking about boycotting a system that we actually wanted as a community. Activision strayed away from a system that they thought was the right thing. Supply drops made them a lot of money, but they changed the system, and maybe it wasn't changed because of us. Maybe it was changed because of all these legislations that are coming in across the world about loot boxes and stuff like that. But we'd like to think it was us that contributed to this happening. And the reality is, if Activision are willing to do something like this, then maybe we can have an effect. But I don't know, like Nero Cinema said, if boycotting the Battle Pass is the right avenue to go down. Now, his suggestion was a brilliant one, and I think it's the only one we've got, because currently we are being censored, and that's something that I don't like. I hate when people try and mute my voice, especially when I'm entitled to have the say that I'm having. It's almost like a communist kind of behavior, especially for you guys over in the States, who free speech is a massive thing to you guys. So when your comments are being deleted off a website, or falling on deaf ears, it must be really frustrating for you when it's a culture that you carry. And it's pretty much like example outside of Call of Duty, TripAdvisor for me is one of my favorite websites. It's a phenomenal website. It's a bit of a phenomenon, in all honesty. You can travel across the world and find reviews on TripAdvisor about restaurants, hotels, etc., etc. That's what I get a pretty good marker to make my decision about a purchase or about a experience that I want to take my missus on. Imagine if TripAdvisor had bad reviews left on it, and then the people that own the businesses were able to access that forum and delete comments and make it look as if everything is glorious and we're getting plenty of great reviews. Look at us, we're #1 on TripAdvisor. But then you find out that it's because your comments were being deleted. It's really shady, isn't it? It's something that just shouldn't happen. The reality is, Activision cannot ignore us forever. At some point, they will have to address us. I don't know if boycotting the Battle Pass is going to make a significant difference. As Nero said in his video, the black market blackout, it didn't work. It did not work. And I'm not saying for a second that this won't work. It might, and that's why I'm willing to contribute my services to it, however small my channel is and however insignificant I am as a person. But I really want you guys to think about the process and how we can really challenge Activision. But it's a sad state of affairs either way, because it's a bitter pill for me to swallow, because it's horrible to know that this game done so much for me and I have to make the conscious decision as to whether I'm even going to play it again. And that's a sad thing for me to even think about, because it's done so many good things for me and made me meet so many good people, including yourselves, because that's why I'm doing this channel. Not really the video I wanted to make today, but I thought it was necessary to get this off my chest and just let you guys know exactly how I feel. Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but like and subscribe button, I hope they take your fancy. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.